Why play Ivern Jungle? Well, he's one of the best supportive junglers. He brings great CC, he synergizes well with many champions, and Daisy is a beast in a teamfight. However, he can struggle if invaded, and he is somewhat reliant on having decent teammates worth supporting. Ivern's passive is that he can't hurt non-epic jungle monsters. Instead, when clicking on a jungle camp, he starts creating a grove. After a chunk of time, the grove will fully grow. This starts off taking 40 seconds and gets faster with each level. When fully grown, they show us a green dot on the minimap, and Ivern can click on them again to gain the experience and gold. Ivern can also smite the jungle camp after marking it to instantly farm the camp. Also, at level 5, when taking a buff, he leaves a copy of the buff on the floor which a teammate can pick up to also get the buff. Ivern's Q is a straight line skill shot which deals damage and roots the first enemy hit. Allies can then attack the rooted enemy to dash into their attack range. Ivern's W has a passive where he's in a brush, and for 3 seconds after leaving a brush, his attacks deal a good amount of additional damage. The active causes Ivern to grow a small patch of brush. This ability has 2 indicators: a smaller circle where a patch of brush will always grow, and a larger circle where if it touches terrain, it will also spawn additional brush to connect it. Ivern's E grants a pretty large shield to an ally. After 2 seconds, it bursts, dealing a good chunk of damage and slowing enemies hit. Ivern's ultimate summons Daisy for 60 seconds, and Ivern can press R again to direct her. If Daisy attacks the same champion 3 times, she creates a shockwave which deals additional damage and knocks up all enemies hit. For combos, you want to land Q and then instantly put yourself in a brush and bring out Daisy. Attack the target to dash you and Daisy to them, and then keep attacking, casting your shield on Daisy for more damage, or on anyone else who needs it. For matchups, Ivern does great against most champions who will let him farm safely into the mid game. However, he can struggle against champions who simply love invading. For runes, Eri just provides even more utility for your team. But GLACIAL also works very well if you need that little bit more CC. For build orders, start Blue Monster and Pot into tier 2 boots and a Moonstone Renewer. After this, a Putrefy and Redemption are great pickups before finishing a build with any of these as your team needs. For skill orders, start Q, then E, then W before maxing E, then Q, then W, taking ult whenever you can. For summoner spells, take Flash and Smite. Starting the game, it's worth starting with a yellow ward and then warding the side you're not starting on. This will just help spot any early invades, and then you can back for a sweeper. Starting your clear, as you don't need a pull, you have a lot of freedom where you start. If you're starting blue side, start by marking wolves and then mark blue buff and smite it. After this, go through the rest of your jungle marking it all. After this, you can go all the way back up to your top side and claim the camps before heading down and claiming the rest of the camps. You should be able to do this in good time that you can then head into the river of Scuttle Crab, mark it, and then smite it immediately. Also, a helpful way to move between camps faster is to use Q, as although you can't hurt them, it still marks them, letting you dash through the wall. Also, at this point in the game, if you're getting invaded and your teammates can't collapse, simply give up the farm. Look to either invade them back or just get some ganks in. As a support-focused jungler, Ivern can easily afford to give up some of these camps without falling too far behind. After taking Scuttle Crab, you want to be looking for ganks. When choosing which lane to gank, always consider what CC your team brings, what escapes the enemy has, and where the lane's pushed to. However, with Ivern's ganks, they're really going to live and die by hitting Q, as landing this means you and your allies can dash to the target, basically dooming them. Entering the mid and late game, you're looking to play the supportive role, so you want to stay near your carry. When securing objectives, Daisy is great to summon early to check brushes and get very safe vision with, and if a teamfight starts, she will still dash to the target when you hit a Q. And when it comes to teamfighting, your job is to purely peel for your carry while Daisy frontlines. Keep rooting anything going for your carry, spamming shield after shield on them and throwing brushes up where needed to protect them.